that's the way I like to learn. For me, it's a culmination of knowledge and putting stuff together, right? Like if you've ever heard me talk, even I'll be like, part of getting involved in the market is like letting your friend jump off the cliff first, right? It's partly it's trading, but partly it's life experience and what you would do in real life too, right? If you can't relate what you do on trading to real life and can't see the mistakes in what you do in real life versus in trading, then it's going to be really hard to just create a whole world around trading but not know how you're going to operate in the real world. I don't know if that made any sense. I kind of sound like I'm probably on crack, but um, that's how I think about that. Anton the New Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, I'm not scamming though. I'm not selling anything to anyone. You guys are the ones just buying shit yourself. The Wyckoff methodology by Ruben. Yeah, so I know a lot of people read that. I think we have the PDF in the Discord, so definitely check that out. Hi Anton, do you believe in the thought that you should wait for the market to settle before trading? Don't trade Sundays. Start trading ideally after trading on Monday. I don't think I believe in like everyone should do that, but I myself do that. That's true. Like I usually, but a lot of I take Sunday trades sometimes because I just can't help myself. But yeah, I think that waiting Sunday and Monday is fine. Getting involved Monday is already good. I think Sunday pretty much takes care of things. Getting involved Monday is fine. I stop Friday. Usually I usually don't take anything on Friday. I did this week. And you guys know it worked out fine. It was that 1 second entry, but there's no point because Friday just kind of puts a time crunch on what you're doing, especially if you're a day trader and want to have everything closed by the end of the day, which is me. So I just don't do that. So I do trade Monday though, usually, if something presents itself, and if I'm at home. Anton, which course section would say helps the people the most? Is there a particular set of videos or specific topics you find makes it click for people? So I kind of brought this up a few times. No. The click only happens once you've seen almost everything, because no one video will make the click happen. The thing is, once you have a culmination of a bunch of shit and then you're kind of looking for that, that next step up in your own knowledge, then a video or one video might make that click. But it's not because of that video, it's because you put in the time to watch everything, learn it, backtest it, all that stuff, right? Like even these webinars, the reason I record them and post them is because even though we might talk about similar things, the way we have these conversations, the way we show things, and the tiny little differences that we make in the way we speak about a chart, a markup, a outlook, can completely influence someone's view, right? Which is why they're available, which is why people can rewatch them over and over again, and which is why when people do rewatch them, they talk about how, holy shit, I've missed this for like, I don't know how, but I just learned, a golden truth about myself or whatever it might be. So there is no one video. I can't tell you that. I think that I try to put out the best stuff that I can, to try and formulate your own passions and understanding in the market. So no answer on that. Anton, if you have a supply and demand zone on a higher time frame, for example, a 4-hour, which has been mitigated on the 50%, but inside the remaining 50% of that H4 zone, there's a fully valid, not mitigated zone, which imbalance under any ends breaking structure would you consider trading it? Not trading it, but confirming it, yes. Remember, zones can be unmitigated or can be mitigated on one time frame, unmitigated on another. That's normal. Same thing with imbalances, but that does not mean that imbalance is not true, right? Because what you have to recognize, as we always talk about, time frames, and I say this all the time, this is like my fucking golden quote now, time frames don't exist for the purpose of time frames. Time frames exist so you can see the price action that took place, okay? So if you see, for instance, on here there's an imbalance, but there isn't an imbalance here on another time frame, that doesn't mean that the imbalance is invalid. It means that on another time frame and the imbalance was filled and the orders were fine, but on one time frame there was a moment in time where orders were left unfulfilled and there was liquidity left behind and stuff like that, so that's why it's getting filled, right? And you can see that if we work through time frames and work with the time frames, we can see the price action. If you just kind of get rid of them because they're filled on another, you're missing a crucial element and part of the zones that are still valid, okay? That's why I have ton of time frames. That's why I work like top down, right? Would you say this is right? Euro USD 1 minute, you have an area, BCAR, ST, UT, kind of a breakdown, maybe an entry in here before, then a breakdown. I wouldn't take the sell after it broke this much, especially since it broke and left everything mitigated, right? You are using a 50%, so technically the 50% is unmitigated, but everything's been mitigated, everything's been filled. The move down isn't impulsive, it's relatively slow and relatively fulfilling. So as it breaks everything down, I mean, maybe I'd start to look for cells inside something they've interesting. So there might have been a cell here, right? You can see there's a break of structure inside here, an entry here off this unmitigated zone, and then a beautiful partial plus break even, and then it comes higher, and it's just a reaccumulation. But I mean, the schematic is technically correct, yes. But this is not a schematic that I would trade. It's an ugly, very ugly schematic that I do not like. And the way it's moving for my own like mind, it's not good enough, right? Meant you the GoPro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Wait, how many RR did you get off that entry? If you're talking about the 1 second entry, it was like 1 to 5 with commissions and everything included. Like once commissions were taken out of it and all that stuff, it was like 1 to 4, 1 to 5. I think 1 to 4 because there was 2 entries. If you remember, I showed you there was 1 entry and then another one. I took both. Just wanted to say, I think having the section 0 is a nice idea. Thanks for the awesome content. Yeah. So I do want to make a section 0. Maybe that's something I'll work on. If I have some time in the Bahamas, probably not, because what am I fucking saying? I'll probably do when I'm back. Definitely. But yeah, I think a section 0 would be really fantastic, even for people that are in a good spot right now with trading, because it'll fully give you the tools you need to just know that you understand the lot size, side of things, the movement of the market side of things, and stuff of that nature. But if any of you have ideas for what should go into section 0, or if any of you are new and don't know some beginner level stuff that you think should that I should cover, or you think that is important to learn, especially for me, just let me know in the Discord. Just at mentfx me, and I'll add it all to a section 0 like personal thing that I'll then make into a step-by-step nice little section for you guys to work through. Thanks, UCAD. All right, so we'll add UC. GJ, I think we talked a little bit at GJ. Don't need signals, but it would be nice. We could use it to pay to stay in the mentorship. I mean, my man, I think that the mentorship, and I mean, I might be an ass for saying this, but I think it's actually a very cheap price, especially for what I think that you guys are getting. I'm happy to do it. I love what I do, and I know that there's a lot of people here, so I make great money off of it. So I'm fully happy and thankful for all the people that are here supporting it with it. But also, I have always said from the beginning that I would never be a signal service. You should not be in this market to make money from anybody else's signals or anybody else's ideas. At that point, you are going to only fuck with your own psychology, because what you're doing is developing your own trading plan, and that's what you're going to do. And the people that have done that know that $100 a month has become a joke, and the people that haven't done that and might be still struggling understand that it's still a commitment. But even then, you don't pay for Hulu and Netflix and you cover it or something like that, right? And I know some people are from other places, so it's less. And as you all know, the free YouTube is also more than enough information. So if you can't do with the private, I understand. It's not a big deal. Stay with the public. But I think that I charge a very, very fair price for what I believe I offer. And I think I've seen a lot of success from people. So I will continue doing that, and I will continue to not provide signals. So hopefully that makes some sense. In a Wyckoff schematic, does the SOS or sign of weakness have to break structure? I like to see it break structure because it shows you that there's an actual impulse, right? And if you actually watch section 3, I think I talk about this, where yes, the final SOS or sign of weakness has to break structure because that's what validates the overall Wyckoff schematic. Yes, so Adam's right here. Do you just trade 4 pairs? No, I only trade 1 pair. But I just view many for all of you guys. Anton, another question from me. Do you mark up previous session highs and lows or days of the week? No, never. I don't care about that. If so, what do you do with that information? I don't do that at all. A better understanding of how much liquidity has been taken. I don't do that at all. I don't use that. I know there's many traders, even smart money, that do use that, marking out highs and lows and stuff like that, but you don't need to do that. Because when you realize where you're looking for prices to reach up into, say this was a daily chart. If this is a distribution or some sort of it, and it breaks down and it gives you these areas, you know that this is going to be heading towards the daily lows here. And I don't need to know that there's a daily high here and a daily low here. It's going to be taken, and there's a daily high and a low, and that gets I don't care for that, because I can see that on lower time frames without looking at specific highs and lows of actual candlesticks. I look at the swings, I look at the fractal swings, and I work with them to understand how price is going to either take them out or hold at mitigated areas, right? With the idea of mentfx blocks, aka institutional structure, and candlestick structure. Okay, so you don't actually need this if you actually, at least in my mind, I don't think you need this if you push yourself to understand the way we view the market. However, if you find success with it and like it, by all means, be my guest, right? I will never tell you not to do something if it works for you, ever. But if something doesn't work for you and it's not something that I do or teach, then reconsider, right? I don't care about sessions. Very true. Why? Because they don't matter. The price will always deliver itself the way it's going to be delivered, regardless of session, regardless of news, right? Why did XRP have a huge markup on Saturday when we predicted it? Because it wasn't about the time, it wasn't about the session, it was about what price did, how people were funneling into it, and who could be liquidated. So Saturday was a time for that to happen, and it did, right? Do you suggest TradingView or MetaTrader? I like TradingView for analysis always, but MetaTrader is the what you have to take trades on. I don't trade with a broker on TradingView because they don't matter. True. The sessions don't matter. Trades whenever. Exactly. You guys know what's up. I actually had one of my students call me. They were just talking to me a little bit. They were like, they're thanking me, of course, for everything, but they were telling me how, you know, it's insane to see a perspective switch where you can literally get on the charts any day, any time, and kind of find almost always a setup that you can be in on, right? And that's what you can do when you understand the mentfx way, ultimately. Blackout happens in every time frame, every session, every second. Exactly. Just out of curiosity, how old are you? Which country and state are you in? He's 21. Yes, I am. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yeah, and that's it. This is absolutely melting my mind. The guy's so young, and I'm only coming across this in my mind in my mid-30s. It all depends when you get involved, right? I mean, I got involved when I was 10 years old. so I was just sitting there like trying to fucking understand candlesticks as if fucking as a 10-year-old, just, you know, martingaling, thinking that martingale was the best system ever, doubling each loss, making some money, and then losing it all, and then, you know, getting some more money from my parents so I could do it again in my allowance. Like, but then I learned more and more, and now we're where we are today. And I can look back at my experiences. I can talk about certain psychological issues, psychological things, and kind of set some of you in the what I believe to be the right direction, right? He's 15. Nice. Captain just saying there are 15, 16-year-olds learning smart money in their spare time. The future is now. Yeah, true. TS, no one is too old to start learning something new. This is just one way of trading, and you can be profitable with retail strategy too if you have right risk management. This is just one of the ways. Very true, right? If you guys saw, so there's a video coming out tomorrow. I think you guys will love it. I think some retail people might hate it because, you know, it is what it is. But let me see if I can find this. Where's mass retail? Boom. Or was it? Where is it? Can you find it? Oh no, did I delete it? No way. Oh, it was a 15-minute. It was 15-minute. There we go. Okay, so here we go. So I did something like this. And this is the video, okay? I'm gonna be talking about this a lot, but here you go. So I was like, this is retail, right? Beautiful. It's fine. It works, right? You have the breaks, the retests, continuations, and then you could take this even higher if you managed it right? It's about 1-to-1, partial, that's fine, really good, amazing. But then all I said is, notice how the bias on this is, right? Pullbacks, right? Break, pullback, continuation is a bullish bias. Now for smart money, the bias is also bullish. But when you look at it from a smart money's perspective, what happens is this, right? Very, very similar perspective, bias-wise, but the entry and the reasoning for entry is significantly different. Sorry. And now that same 1-to-1 partial becomes a 1-to-10 or 1-to-5 partial, and the completion that was 1-to-10 on retail is a 1-to-50 on smart money. That's the difference of making the switch, right? Both are profitable entirely. Both will work. You can learn how to trade like this and make millions. There's people that trade just channels and shit like that and make fucking millions doing it. Make more money than me doing it, right? So, not here to shit on retail and stuff. I am for my YouTube channel because it gets clicks, but I think smart money is the way to go if you want to really take your trading to the next level, basically, right? In my mind. I want to take notes, but don't even know what to write down. Take some notes after, when it's up. That's funny. I'm in my 30s, dude. I was told I couldn't make money playing video games and spending time on the computer, so I picked up a trade. Now look what I'm doing. Exactly, man. That's how it is. Accidental retro trading in the making. Oh yeah, when I put on the fucking resistance line on EU and it worked. Oh my god, so sad. Can you check my EU analysis? Sure, let's take a look really quick. Yeah, definitely there's definitely a big switch here. I don't know just about taking this trade. This can easily come way up into here again to keep dropping. But yes, I do believe in a bearish bias. That's fine. I did want to see it actually, if I recall correctly, go back to the really right here. I did want to see it tap into this. The fact it didn't tap into this right here leads me to believe that there might be one more crazy push above all the highs to get back into here. However, that I'm not gonna like basically set myself up for that completely. I understand that it doesn't have to do that, but I did want to see it get up there, and it's just that last up move before the down move, right? You probably all had that on your chart. We're breaking down now, and again, we will begin to look for confirmation sells inside of here and stuff to start running all these lows. That's fine, to start getting into these imbalances here, at which point we're probably gonna run this low instead of hold here, but there's still gonna be potentially mitigations here that come into either deeper retracements or mini retracements to keep going lower, right? Nothing crazy. I do want to see this met though. I'm sad it didn't get met, but remember that it also met this, right? You have to remember we're always operating on multiple time frames, and technically maybe we can find one that's unmitigated, right? This is why I use time. There we go, right? Unmitigated zone, that's where it met. So if you were looking at this specific zone, this is met now under your conditions, right? And now if you had the setup that you wanted to see, which you technically had right here, you're having the breakdowns now, and we can look for ways to be involved in this breakdown and continuous breakdown all the way back down into those zones here now, okay? Which I think is actually going to most likely be the case. And if that's the case, then we will look for that to occur at this, just like you had outlined in your image, this, right? Which also means that we have opportunities to buy here, in here, in here, to get back up into those zones if we are to get those retracements, right? With management along the way, always. Bro, we have people in 40s, even 50s, just hustle, age is just a number. Exactly, yeah, I actually know some of the best people in here are in their older ages because they understand what it actually means to dedicate time into something that you know can work, right? People that are young are kind of just all over the place a lot of the time, and you know, they're just kind of playing around, fucking around. They might even put some money in, even when they join, and just lose it and go, hey, mentfx is not for me. I'm gonna go trade, boom, and then it's gonna work. Retail's looking to buy this right now. Just wait, it's gonna work, guys. Honestly, just trade this support. Anton, without access to the second time frames, which time frame would you suggest for top down analysis to 5-minute entries? Top down. Always top down, no matter what. Doesn't matter what time frame you want to enter on. I always do top down. Or like I said, time frame is just for seeing price, not for seeing price action. Or you can, if you want the seconds, just get them for free on like a demo C-Trader account or something. Second time frame isn't that important. Exactly, it's not that important. It's just important for me because I like to get onto the charts. If I see something I like, I'll be involved for what, like a minute or two, and I'm good for the day, right? Like that's pretty much it. And I like to trade that way a lot more because emotionally I know that I can't hold shit. I'm so bad with it. Like I'm literally just terrible. Even if I know it's gonna work, I'm just so bad with it. But it is what it is. TS, there's a video linked in announcements that shows you how to get premium for free. Oh, I accidentally deleted it while I was clearing stuff out, so I'll have to put that back in here, but we'll stick it back in there in a sec. Just look up a video on YouTube on how to copy them over. Well worth the 10 minutes it takes every month. Yep, exactly. ZC, gold. All right. So we have the equal lows. That's true. We do have those. I've been expecting a pullback forever into here or here. So again, yeah, great. Expecting buys in or around these areas. If those buys do present themselves into some supply zones here or even higher, right? Otherwise, use the supply zones forming now to continue this bearish push into those lower zones, right? Mitigate, I mean, managing along the way. Very nice. That's fine. It's good buys. Can you check if I have any mistakes? I don't think you have any mistakes. I think it's the bias is a bias, right? A bias is never going to have mistakes. Entries will have mistakes. Emotions will have mistakes. And when you don't backtest your strategy, then you're going to have mistakes on your live. G's all blessed, all G. Okay, good stuff. Focusing on one pair has been so helpful. Exactly. So I know a lot of you have made the switch to looking at one pair, and I know that's probably been really helpful for a lot of you. So that's awesome. Would EU be the recommended pair? Any pair. There is no recommended pair. Like I said before, if you showed me the Mexican zlota or the peso, sorry, if you showed me the peso and it had the lowest spread, I'd probably go trade it. I don't really care. The pair does not matter. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Some people are just connected to GJ. I don't know why, but some people just feel that connection, right? They just love GJ. It's like their monk yoga teacher, and they need to go to it. and they'll go and trade only GJ, and it works for them because it's all the same thing, right? Some people just hate forex and love stocks just because stock sounds cooler, right? And they could just trade Apple the same way too if they want to. EU and gold has the best swings in the family. Yeah, definitely gold has a lot more swings, just because it moves a lot. Spreads super cheap too, exactly, right? Which is why some people prefer EU and gold. Very, very low spreads, which is why even retail traders prefer it because, low spreads. My reasoning for trading these pairs is retail. Literally, the retail reason is low spreads, let's trade it. Same here. I'm happy with that. Give me those low spreads. That was a good demonstration with the volume indicator. Thank you. Have you ever used VWAP? No, I have not. And I will never. It's just another way of using a moving average, you could say. And if you find a way to use it, go for it. I don't use it though. When you've taken a trade and it has played out, how do you transition to another trade? Do you reset and carry out a top-down analysis? Well, I mean, you don't need to keep doing top-downs, right? Like, I'm not going to, after this, get off the call, delete all my markups here, right? And just restart. No, I'm going to play as it goes, right? The only analysis that will change over this week probably is either this zone, which it already is, right? So now the analysis might be something like this. I'm not going to draw it randomly. I'm going to go find that later. But the analysis will be this until like this is reached or this is breached. The top down doesn't have to change anymore. The stuff that's going to change is everything that happens within it now. The way price moves within it. Does it move like that? Does it come to this? Does it break off it? Does it take out stuff? Okay, if it does, is it still inside that zone? It is. Okay, let's keep looking, right? I'm not going to redo a top down. There's that doesn't make no sense. The point of a top down is you understand what long-term targets might be, and then you ask yourself how those long-term targets can be met, right? Any chance you could give your quick weekly outlook top down on EU? I think I kind of just did. So hopefully that explained it. Vinicius Franca, GU. Break, expecting it to come back into here to keep going higher. That's fine. You have the equal lows here also drawn out. That's good. Again, I think I spoke about GU a little bit earlier. But yeah, definitely buys in here, right? Accumulations up into potential ment blocks or small areas of, I think you have this as a hidden supply zone. That's good. Supply zones up here, all good. Great way to do it, to fulfill those points. Otherwise, to continue breaking down to new lows, right? 48 Loss of Power, must read. 10x Rule, great book. Nice. Zen in the Markets is quite good for psychology. Oh yeah, Zen in general is great. The 5 a.m. Club is a fantastic book. How Successful People Operate. Nice. Yeah, so you guys can go drop the stuff and some of the motivation stuff. Maybe people can have some books to read. 7 Habits of Most Efficient People. Oh yeah, that one's also good. Very good book. Need to read again. Nice. Do you focus more on Wyckoff itself or looking for a break of structure even if you don't get Wyckoff? And would you enter if you saw a break of structure but no Wyckoff? Sometimes, depends on how the mentfx blocks form. That's all. Right? Because like I said, there's 2 modes of entry. There's either the mentfx blocks or Wyckoff. You choose for yourself. I usually like to have the Wyckoff confirmation because I like Wyckoff. Yeah, so Esko said it right. Depends on your setup, 100%. Disciplined Trader. Yeah, you guys can go ahead and share some of these in the motivation part, or if there's another one, Profound Discovery, something like that. If you guys want to go in there and talk a little bit, maybe tag some people in here. Gold nuggets that are casually set or the game changers? Thanks, man. How can I rewatch the previous webinars? Right in this webinar recording place right here that is hidden from everyone. I'm just kidding. Right here, webinar 1 through 7. This is going to be number 8, and these will continue indefinitely. And one day I'll be here, 80 years old, and some of you will still be around, and I'll be like, all right, guys, our children, tell them about this supply zone. Tell them to look for Wyckoff, and then I'll die on webinar, and that's it. Damn, wanted to make note but missed that about timeframes. The note about timeframes is timeframes do not exist for the purpose of time. Timeframes exist for the purpose of seeing price and how the orders in that area moved. Okay? In the webinar recording section in Discord, yes. How does commission really work? Because it'd be eating my profit on FTMO. Really? That's weird. I feel like the FTMO, I don't even know how FTMO commissions work. I feel like FTMO commissions are dirt cheap for some reason. I feel like I enter something and within seconds it's positive. And like on my Prosperity account, if I enter something, it takes a while for those commissions to be like taken care of. So I don't know. I'll have to look up the FTMO commissions. I've never looked them up because it's never really bothered me. It's always been very simple for some reason, but who knows? Maybe I'm just like very lucky. You gotta post some pics of Bahamas on Discord or IG. Nah, we never flex. I only flex to you guys because you've already paid, so I don't have to sell anything to you guys now. Nobody on YouTube gets a flex. All they get is concepts. It is a very good price. Thank you, man. Very fucking cheap. Yes, and blessed for the $1 million knowledge. Oh, I appreciate you guys. Bro, with comments like that, I want my $100 a month grandfathered in before you raise that shit. Facts, still, it matches my phone bill. I love that. Yeah, exactly. It's funny. Like, my phone bill's literally $120 a month. It's disgusting. How do they get away with this shit? I was so mad. Definitely a fair price. Thank you, guys. Fair fees, especially for newbies. Appreciate that a lot. What changed my mind was someone told me if you can't pay $100 a month for knowledge, what the fuck have you been doing for the past 10 years when you can't even save $100? Well said. Retails always hate. Nice. I spent $100 on Naked Forex. It's a great coaster. Yeah. How your parents teach you Forex? They didn't teach me. I found it myself, bro. I was a little gamer in my room and I wanted to make money so I could play video games for the rest of my life. So I found out that if I trade the charts, that I could play video games. That's how it all started. The reason I found mentfx was because I wanted to know what liquidity in the market actually meant, and I got the best explanation ever. Thank you, bro. The terminal market in Philly has bomb food. Bro, it smells like fish there. I don't go there ever. mentfx is the best college you can get for $100 a month. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. How is best to incorporate mentfx blocks? Do you okay, we got a concept. Hold on. I gotta get out of the laughing phase. How is it best to incorporate them? Do you use them on a specific time frame and then refine as you drop down? Or is there a time frame you don't go lower from? I go top down, always. I don't stop using them on anything. I really only use them for entries on very low time frames because I usually just use Wyckoff to confirm, but they can also help you see, because it's also a perspective thing. When you notice the mentfx block, it's easier to see where the market might be heading, right? So if you look at like even this markup, just seeing right down here this got broken, you know there's a mentfx block here, you know it's bullish. So when it comes back into it, you know that you can be bullish. And when this breaks, even though this mentfx block here hasn't been confirmed, this one right here from this high to this low has been confirmed with this break, which means in your mind you're already thinking, okay, we can get a bearish pullback to continue bullish. And look at that, it comes right into a demand zone in that mentfx block, right? So you're using it as part of your perspective at the same time. Okay, so that's the best way to incorporate it, I think. 66. I am hella late. Nah, no one's late, bro. We're all chilling. Hella late. I feel like everyone should just trade EU and gold. It would make the mentorship 10 times more OP. Alright, guys, we're not going to talk about... I don't want to get sued by the SEC too now. Like, nah. Everyone, this is all education purposes. I'm saying it again. I'll always say it every webinar. All education, perspective-based. A little fact. What's a hidden supply zone? Check out the webinar 8. I talk about those a little bit in there. Or webinar 7. Someone, oh wait, webinar 7 or 6. Sorry, 7 or 6. I'll talk about them, but someone can make a comment on that. But very quickly, they are, ignore that. They are ultimately, let me find one that actually held, so I can find you one to, they actually explain. Like this one. So a wick to wick of an up move is its own hidden, let me make that easier to see, is its own hidden demand zone, right? So that wick to this wick, because on a lower time frame, this, if you think about what that's doing, is it's coming up, making a high, closing, right? Coming down, making a low below that high, right? Coming back up and closing. So what has it made? A fractal accumulation. So you expect this area as a mentfx block to hold, and that area right here, or even this area right here as a mentfx block, is that area right there. Okay? Don't get too confused with them. They exist everywhere, so it can really fuck with you. But when you're working with higher time frames, sometimes these are the zones that actually get held. So just keep them in mind, look at them a little bit, test them. But there you go. I like the grandfather. I like the grandfather and been in this since January. Hey, nice. What do you think constitutes a BOS? A wick or candle? Wick. But also a candle really confirms it too, right? Remember that. A candle is really good confirmation. A wick can also be a liquidity grab. So just test it with yourself. I like wicks, but I used to use bodies and it worked great as well. It's to tell them to look for Wyckoff from me. Can you please show the mentfx or double mentfx block for entries? I think I showed that on gold, on the 15-second entry that I was talking about. So we had as you remember, I said that we had the, yeah, so we had that POI on the 1 minute, and then if you moved your way down into it, right, you moved yourself down into it. Let's delete all this. Let's go back here, right? Follow the price action. Where's the mentfx blocks that are coming into here? What move made this low? This one. Okay, so when does this mentfx block get validated? Only when it trades above here, which is also a break of structure. In this case, you see how there's a wick? It still counts because it's part of the mentfx block idea. Now, this is all mitigation. So already, if you want to have a risk entry, 50% of this is fine to take, or even the open. Or, now that we've had somewhat of a mitigation, you can wait for the break higher. Does this come higher? It does. So now you have an option. Either you're happy with this and satisfied as this being a mentfx block, right here. Oops, sorry, with this high. Or you realize this is not a good enough mitigation, which it isn't for me, and you wait for a second one. Right, so this is where it's subjective. So if you enter this, you might have even lost. Let's see. Yeah, you would have. Right, now I'm happy with this mitigation. What's causing this low? This high. So this is now, I'm happy with this because it's a real move, right? This wasn't a move worthwhile of me looking at it as a mentfx block. This one is. There's a subjectivity reason here, but you can kind of see why. So the next break would be here. And at that point, you're valid to buy, or you're valid to wait for it to break higher and then come into it and then buy inside of it, right? So you could do both of those. So this whole down move is that mentfx block right there. Now you're waiting for that break still, right? So that's double mentfx block as long as this holds. Did it hold? It did. So we're good. That's double. Now you're no, not confirmed yet. Not confirmed, right? Not confirmed. Confirmed. Okay? That's the entry. Now again, the next mentfx block has to come into here with a substantial enough movement into it to be another mentfx block, right? This is now 2 mentfx blocks confirmation, so that's technically valid for this, if you are happy with that, right? So it mitigates it here, but now, again, this is not valid enough for me. This isn't big enough. I'm not happy enough with this mitigation, so I will not count that as a mentfx block, right? Watching. That is substantial enough pullback on this high. So whenever this gets breached now, this is a substantial, and I'm happy with this being a mentfx block as it's mitigating this. So now you have a triple mentfx block confirmation, right? There it is. That's another entry now if you want it literally off the buy, like off the thing, and right, and then we take off to the masses, so on and so forth. So hopefully that made some sense. That's mentfx blocks. So again, if people do ask about mentfx blocks in the future, in the mentorship, make sure you send them to the webinars, because I think we cover them a lot, even in the webinars and in the section. So hopefully that made some sense. Do you read books? Yes, but not trading ones. Just started my free trial today for TradingView Premium. This is about to be a hell of a month for me. Nice, man. How can I be a participant in this trade? Not always going to happen, but let's see. EU 1 day breakdown. How? You can't. Unless you took something inside here. You can't always be part of every single trade, but if you went inside here on a lower time frame, there might actually be an entry. So let's actually take a look at that just for the sake of looking at it. So let's say for a second off the daily, how long are we? We're almost 2 hours, so I'm gonna have to cut this off real soon. I'm probably losing a lot of your attentions, but remember how I said this whole thing is a 3-day or a 4-day supply zone. So when we've tapped into it, I'm happy with that, right? Go to the 1 minute, check out that, what was that mitigation you were talking about? Was it this one? Wait, where the fuck was it? What were you even looking at? Hold on. So 1 hour, is that why? 1 minute breakdowns? Was it this one? I think it was this one. I'm not sure though. 1, 2, and the third wick is the highest on the 1 minute. That's not it. All right, I can't help you because I have no idea where the fuck this is, honestly. Oh wait, maybe it's somewhere in here. Oh, it's here, isn't it? There we go. Okay, I found it. We're chilling. So yeah, you can see I actually had to sell before and I lost that one. And I honestly wouldn't have used anything here to confirm it, but if you maybe looked at this mentfx block, then maybe this was your confirmation, and then you can go and take a look at this. Theoretically speaking, we got this breakdown, mentfx block here, no other pushes into it. Do we get any push back into it? No, we don't. So I wouldn't have been able to get in on this. Like, I'm not going to be part of each move. So for me, no. Maybe you saw something in here, highs, break, and then you got involved here, off the second mentfx block right there. So as this broke, you just sell stopped it and took it down. But I wouldn't have done this. Not in line with my entry criteria. Do we have a meme of the week? I think we had the merch meme of the week. Commissions on FTMO, $3 a lot. Half what they are on Prosperity. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I feel like FTMO has always been cleaner. Yeah, FTMO commissions are actually really low, I believe. So I'm happy with it. Smells like fish. It does smell like fish. I am new. I don't know what a mentfx block is. I have a lot of learning to do. Yes, sir, but it's all available to you, so just make sure you check it out. Do you use the volume indicator tool? Not at all. I think I showed you guys what I think about it and how it literally just we can see it. If you're talking about the actual volume down here, no, I don't. I don't use it. I don't need to use it. Great webinar. I learned a lot in my first webinar. Oh, this is your first? Welcome. Thank you for all the new people. Awesome. Trust me, powerful. Oh, the mentfx blocks? Hell yes. Are you going to be funded forever and eventually grow a huge personal account? Personal account, definitely. I know in the US there's a lot of limits with regulated brokers. That's why I use Prosperity. 1 to 500 as a US trader, so it's all good. Because they don't have verification. But yeah, definitely transition to personal. I would never want to forever be technically working for someone else, right? Like it's not technically working for someone else, but you're still paying them for the money that is yours. And if you have the money saved to put into an account, then why not do that? Like if you've paid off a house or you're paying for a mortgage and you paid everything that you need to pay and you just have money sitting there, either put it to work into the stock market, or since you don't need for it to give you 8% a year on average geometrically from the stock market and you know how to trade, you know, trade your money as its own personal account. Attention span still here. Beautiful. Can you show us how you trail your stops? Very quickly. Break, entry, usually partial. Potentially partial. Trail. I'd already be a break even, but I'd be waiting. Trail, 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 stop. That's it. Just very normal. Nothing crazy. I actually don't even have I'm not even like a crazy guy with the way I trail. It's nothing intense. It's literally just trail with structure and try to stay in it. That's it. What's the minimum for personal, do you think, once I'm not shit? I mean, yeah. You can always build a personal, always, with anything. I think 10K is fine. I don't want to give you investment advice, so a demo 10K account is what you want to start with. But just set money aside, learn how to save, read some books on savings. I don't know, something like that. I haven't read books on savings, but you know, like just think about how you want to save your money, how you want to, you know, have stuff for later, children, whatever it might be. Matt, I feel I'm close to going live. Do you offer one-to-one calls with you? I do not. No, I'm sorry. Message me what problems you think you have or whatever over Discord, and I'd be happy to maybe like take a tiny look at you with you. But I usually charge a lot for my personal one-on-one time. I try not to get people take it because I try to show people that, you know, everything's available. You don't have to be paying for this shit. But if you do want to pay for it, I'm gonna charge you. You know. Awesome webinar. Thank you, man. Hey Anton, any one of peers from Canada use your broker? It's not my broker, by the way. I don't advertise them. I'm not paid by them, just so you guys know. I only have my referral link. That's the only way I make some money off of them when people join with them. I think this works in Canada too. So try that. What do you use to withdraw Bitcoin from your personal? Coinbase. Yes, I use Coinbase. I hate Coinbase though. It's so annoying because the fees are terrible, but whatever. Would you put your stop loss below / above structure that hasn't created at least 50% retracement? I don't read into the retracement percentages. I just follow structure. So like even at this point right here, if I was in a buy here, as this high got made, I would have put my stop here. As this high got made, I probably would have put my stop here, right? Oh, well that's nice. Okay, so you're good in Canada then. All right, well it seems like we got to the bottom of things. We can look at some of the pairs. Does anyone still want to look at EU, UJ, GA, NAS, gold, or UC? If you're still here, okay, gold. So let's look at gold first. Oops. I'm not gonna go super long because my breath is extended. I am exhausted. It's hot as shit in here because I have to turn the AC off when I record these, so the microphone quality is crisp. But okay, so gold, relatively simple. Retracement into here or here to continue higher. I do want to see it get up into these zones. However, we are mitigating this right here. right? So just being cognizant of the fact that we could finally come and start running the lows, right? If we kind of just impulse through these, look for sells at the supply zones that form to take them all the way down. Otherwise, otherwise buys up into here, or even at the largest up into there. Nothing crazy with that. Hopefully that's some nice sense on gold, just because remember, we created equal lows here. There's so much liquidity here, and inside of here there's also a lot of unmitigated price action back from 2020 of March, right? So it wouldn't be crazy to see, you know, this is its own overall wyckoff that could come to liquidate now and then continue, or come to liquidate in the future, right, and then continue, something like that. But overall, gold is just looking for this demand zone or this demand zone to be mitigated. This supply zone is being mitigated right now. That's what we were looking at from last week. Coming lower, new supply zone, coming lower, breaking structure. These breaks of structure are coming from where? The supply zone's up here. So if anything, here you go. Here we go. Let's go like that. If price makes its way up into here, I will look for sells. Okay, so sells on gold up here is cool. Down into these zones here. And then looking for some buys in here short term to maybe even get back up here to then get those sells, or if those sells come first, then fantastic. Nothing crazy on gold. Overall, that's just the thing. If you guys want to trade like the day trade, this is just ugly as fuck. If you want to follow this, you can. We just tapped into this demand zone, I think. Did we? Yeah, we did. We just tapped into this demand zone. Haven't really broken structure. Actually, we have. We broke the structure short term, came to test it, breaking higher now. So honestly, buys right now to get up into here or here is fine. But you know, I'd look for better entries for better RR. Did it open already? Didn't open. Maybe something else opened. Did EU open? Yeah, EU's open already. Nice. Yeah, so here we go. There's our final retracement. So looking for the retracement up here. But gold is just that. Nothing crazy. Hope that made some sense. Okay, gold's done. Gold GU. GU has, okay, finally come back down into this zone. So we had, so it played out perfectly from last week, if anyone was here. We were expecting it to come into here, buy up into here to then sell, or potentially continue higher. It did buy up, it gave us the partials, and sold off at a beautiful distribution inside of here multiple times. Sold off into here. Now, I had this zone marked out, so probably heading for this demand. If it comes to this demand, buys up into some supply zones here to come lower into this demand, or the buys in this demand zone to start a new structural move all the way up into the supply zones up there. That's pretty much it on GU. Nothing crazy. Same bias that has held for the last, 2 weeks, I think now. If you wanted to see how we met this bias and saw it, just go check out some of the previous webinars, because we spoke about it in there, definitely. Delete some of this now. There we go. But yeah, this was a beautiful trade. Came up here perfectly, distributed, fell down. Now we're coming towards this demand zone here, which is part of this larger institutional structure. Again, those equal lows are there, and that's the overall bias right there, right? See that, guys? All good on GU? All good on GU? Makes some sense? You guys are somewhere around the same thing, most likely. Probably same zones or something. We can get rid of this buy now. We can just make it smaller. Just flex the little buy position. There we go. Just those, as you can see, just those, that liquidity was met, so GU was nice. Everyone good with GU? Is that fine? We'll go on to the next one if that's cool. Good. All right, fantastic. Let's see what else we had. Gold, GU, EU. So EU, I think I went over. Start of the week just happened. I just did gold. I just did gold a second ago. So yeah, EU looking for it to get up into here. If we see some kind of structure start put into the market like this, then maybe you can look up into buys like this. But again, start of the week, there's liquidity here probably, so it might want to be ran. We'll see how that goes. We aren't really tapping into anything except like this wick. I don't like that. I think we're going to start running lows. I do think we're going to come lower, but let's just look for those lower plays. Kind of same as gold, right? Yeah, overall, potential up move before the down move. Euro USD, potential up move before the down move. Same thing, relatively, so it makes some sense. GU, right? What do we have? Pretty much same thing. Potential small up move before the down move to start running more of the lows and to get into either this demand zone or get into the one all the way down here. So all the XXX USD pairs, relatively the same. Bitcoin, I think it was the same thing. Yep, relative small up move before the down move, right? And what's funny is I didn't analyze these together. I analyzed them all like on their own, and the bias is coming out to be very, very similar, right? And it doesn't mean that it's a good analysis just because they all line up, right? It could just be the composite man lining them all up to liquidate them. So don't just think that, you know, oh, they're all good, let's risk all our fucking money. Nah, don't do that. So we got gold, we did EU, we did some GU. UJ, I don't look at UJ, but let's take a quick look. I'll do a very, very quick analysis of it just because I don't really use it. But let's go weekly. Let's just take a quick look at what we have here. Had a huge up move. Just broke some short-term structure here, coming up to this supply zone, actually mitigating it right now. Hidden supply zone in here, so that's what it's actually mitigating. Potentially could have deeper mitigation, but probably going to make a run for the demand zones in here and here. Most likely, we can just look at this hidden one as an easy area of demand, just to expect mitigations to come into here short term as we took out these highs. Fantastic. Get down to a daily, start looking at this. We have this unmitigated wick. Okay, so that's what it looks like we're mitigating right now. Nothing really else up here right now to mitigate. And if we do mitigate that, you know, we manage it properly to the imbalances in here and some of the lows here. Potentially looking to get into here if you want to refine that zone, but you know, this whole thing is a fine way to look at it. We get a little bit lower. 4 hour from last week, you know, you would have had the same bias that accumulated, broke, gave you zones, great, gave you zones, didn't give you entries, gave you zones, and now, you know, buys, sells. Okay, nothing crazy on that end. So that's like, so you could just have this hidden demand zone right here drawn out if you'd like to, because everything has been relatively mitigated. You have this demand zone drawn out, right? These are all fine zones to consider potential mitigation at, and then look for sells in here. And if you notice, we can now refine, actually this wick right here mitigated this wick, so let's get a little bit lower, take a look at what we have inside of here. There we go. Here's the unmitigated supply zone if you want to use that. That's what we're making our way towards, so we're probably going to see that get ran relatively soon. This is all looking like part of a larger distribution potentially, and if we do start getting below here, then these buys will be to sell into the supply zones that will then sell into the demand zones here, or even the demand zones here. Okay, so that's UJ. Makes some sense. Everyone good on UJ? Yeah, I haven't looked at UJ in like so long. I never look at this pair, but is that cool? Does that line up with some of the UJ plays? Everyone good with that? Makes some sense. Fantastic. Nice. Okay, good. Good. Let's go back up to where UJ was said last. Bye. Thanks for the webinar. Peace, man. Nas. Okay, so Nas. I don't look at Nas too, but let's fucking look at Nas. Nas 100. There we are. So Nas 100. Okay, so just in a large range, whatever, that's fine. Let's go to the weekly real quick. Big up moves. If it does fall down, you know, we're gonna make our way down to here, somewhere inside of here. There we go. We can look at this hidden demand zone, or you can look at this one. So at least looking for it to come and meet some of the imbalance here in this area, but we'll just have this one drawn out. It's not a big deal. We'll go and find a better. There we go. Refine that a little bit. So that's where it might want to head towards. Right now, there's also this unmitigated zone right here. That's where it could head towards. It just mitigated this supply zone, as you can see, with this last up move, and actually might have a down move now into the zones here. So we get down to a 4 hour. Take a look at that really quick. You have very like ugly, but it's fine. There's Wyckoff, break a structure, last up move before the up move before the down move. Price gets up here, good area to look for sells. Look for Wyckoff confirmation. That's great for entries. Otherwise, if price continues to break down, you know exactly where to search for those sells from. Potentially, you would have been looking at this last wick. There's a great entry there, most likely. You can go look at that on a 30-minute. You had some highs. Those are getting liquidated. If we do get a break here, I'd look for, because there's nothing unmitigated here, I'd look for one more entry confirmation to get in there, right? So either it comes up there, gives you that entry confirmation, or it gets below here and gives you that entry confirmation to go lower. Nasdaq 100 overall, I'd be bearish. Again, every week it's been relatively bearish because, you know, we've gone really high and there's still pullbacks to be had. Otherwise, if it continues to break, then you guys understand how to be part of that, which is look for it to come into some of the demand zones here or here that you can probably draw out. And other than that, that's pretty much it on NAS, I think. Nothing crazy on NAS, but that's just the overall bias. So everyone looking at NAS, so we got that, or we pretty much got this, right? And this buy can come from most likely than not, right? Like that, okay? Cool. Good on Nas. Everyone understand why we're looking at it the way we're looking at it. Awesome. Okay, cool. So that's Nas. That's Nas 100. That's how I'd be looking at it. Definitely. And again, from last week, if you had done the same thing, or from 2 weeks ago, or whenever this was, if you look at this, the same thing happened, right? You had the same breaks down. You had last up moves before the down moves. Price finally came into demand zones, made their moves up, tested again the demand zones, made their moves up into here, distributed, and now are falling again. Breaking structure, what are they going to do? Potentially come into the demand zones, make their move up, distribute, come into here, make their moves back down. I don't understand how indices can move the same way as smart money concepts, because the same people operate in them. That's why. Let's go through some more just to make sure everything's covered. Nas, please. Nice. Bye bye. Thanks for the webinar. See ya. Thanks, man. Info was fire. Appreciate it. Bless webinars. Always bless up everyone. Amazing. Thanks for the webinar. See you guys. Let's go. Be great. Fuck yeah. It's almost midnight here in Italy. Time to sleep. See you, man. For webinar, I still got a lot of stuff to learn. Thank you. And yes, you do. GU cells from last week still running. Oh, fantastic, man. It's great that you caught those. I'm not going to click on... fuck it. I'll look at it. Why not? Yeah, beautiful. Great entries. That's actually the entry I was looking at too. I didn't take it though because, like I said, I trade one pair, but I'll still put stuff in there before it happens, and then I'll still like show it off and be like, "Hey, we caught this" on the Instagram. I'll be like, "Yeah, guys, we caught the GU," like, because I don't care. But great sell. Because of DXY? No, not because of DXY. I don't look at DXY, but I can analyze it. Doesn't really matter though. Like I said, every market will be the same. If you get DXY wrong, you're going to get stocks wrong, and you're going to get the other shit wrong, right? It's not because of DXY. It's just because of the market. That's it. US 30. Oh, I might look at US 30 if some people still here want it. So just let me know in the comments below if you guys do, and I'll look at that as the last one probably. Good night, everyone. Big money for all. Nice. Good night, man. Gotta go. Thanks so much for the webinar, Anton. I got you, man. Peace. I'm in the UK. I'm able to buy some merch to show support. Plus, the merch looks sick. I think you can buy to the UK, so take a look at that. And thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. USDMXN. Fuck off. We're not looking at this pair. If you're serious, I'll look at it. But if you're joking, then fuck off. Thank you. Thanks so much for your time and knowledge, bro. This mentorship is the best decision I've made. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Awesome. I don't understand how indices can move the same way. Yes, exactly. Same thing. You just trade gold. Gold in EU, probably more EU. Yeah, US 30 would be cool, but it's almost same as Nas 100. Okay, so let's look at US 30 and then USDMXN if Danny's actually serious about it. So let's go look at US 30 as the last thing. Oh, yeah, same thing. Yeah. Been expecting sells since forever. Same thing can happen though. You can look for some buys up into some of these sells here. But overall, coming to sell out all this liquidity and come into these demand zones, or even if it wants to start making a real down move for some of the ones in here, right? But yeah, US 30 is the same. I had this up for a while, so I'll just leave it up because the bias hasn't changed since, when did I analyze this? 21st of April. So about, 20 days ago, 10 days ago. Same bias, okay? Nothing crazy. And if you notice, distribution, liquidation, break a structure, retest, mini distributions, break a structure, come into the demand zone, accumulation, buy up, distribution, come right down, accumulate inside the demand zone, buy back up, distribute again into the supply zones, distribute, break back down, liquidate a fuck ton of people, come back up. No real good distribution, but testing some of the last supply zones, coming lower. Demand zones, probably have a mini buy up to run whatever people are in this little thing, and then breakdowns. Yeah, here at break a structure, if you're just looking at structure, this is a break right here. But if you're understanding that this was the supply zone and that this is just coming to get some more orders, then you know that that is actually part of the Wyckoff in here. That is part of going lower. How do I get rid of some? Oh, there we go. All right. But on that high, he BOS, and the next low, he BOS again. Yeah, that's why I always say that, structure is not only, we don't just trade structure here, right? We take our understanding beyond just normal structure and stuff like that. So, but hopefully that US 30 markup really just now made some sense. It's the same thing as US 100, NAS 100, NAS, I think, NAS, same thing. So hopefully that made some sense, and that's pretty much it. I think we'll round this off. It's about 2 hour webinar, so I'm pretty tired. Gold's melting. Nice. I mean, this is not really melting, but it is going down. It's just in this little consolidation. Oh, I guess on the 1 minute it's melting. Yeah, you're right. Came to test the last distribution here. Looks like, yeah, it's just falling off. Yeah, nothing crazy. It could melt down into here, and there could be nice buys in here, right? It's probably what I'd look for, if anything, right? It's very simple. Just if it starts to slow down, then you know exactly what we're going to look for. Start running liquidity. Pretty simple. Thanks for the love, man. A true game changer. Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for waking up. I know it's really early for you. Thank you, bro. Have a great week. You too, man. So thank you for everyone that is still here. Thank you, everyone who did participate and might be rewatching this in the future. And welcome to all the new people. Thanks for watching the overall video. I know it's 2 hours. It's amazing if you made it through it, but it's part of your trading journey, and it's going to definitely help you along the way. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording now. Peace.